Court will note the appearance of Mr. Todd on behalf of the plaintiff. This matter is before the court on the plaintiff's amended motion to show cause and for contempt. Mr. Todd.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, as the court is aware, there was a trial in this matter. The court ordered that parenting time would start November 1st. The judgment indicated that parenting time would take place, in essence, on a week-on, week-off basis. Additionally, Mr. Maddox was entitled to 2 firearms, and Miss Maddox was going to retain the Ford Explorer and hold Mr. Maddox harmless for payments on that vehicle. Unfortunately, at this point, my client has tried to facilitate pickup and drop-offs and has been refused. One of the minor children, the son, actually walked to my client's home. So he missed 1 week of parenting time with his son and 2 weeks of parenting time with his daughter. So a total of 14 days with his daughter and 7 days with his son. Additionally, the defendant has failed to pay anything for the Ford Explorer, and we checked on this today, and no payment has been made to date. Lastly, my client was able to pick up 1 firearm, the Smith & Wesson. However, the quote firearm has still not been retrieved. The safe was actually open at the time of the eviction, so we know that Miss Maddox had access to that firearm. So we are respectfully requesting the court hold defendant in contempt, require her to promptly exchange the children and facilitate the week-on, week-off parenting time, give my client the Colt firearm, and we're requesting 7 days of makeup parenting time for his son, 14 days of makeup parenting time for his daughter to be used at his discretion. Additionally, we are respectfully requesting the court require prompt payment for the vehicle within 1 week, and in the event that the payment is not paid for that vehicle, that vehicle would be sold, and we are respectfully requesting attorney fees for filing this motion.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Maddox, what's your response? You're muted, ma'am. You'll have to unmute.
Hi, Your Honor. Okay,
Hi.
So the day after court, I got a 24-hour notice to get off of the property. I had messaged his mother and asked her if she would give us until the 17th when our house would be ready. She said her attorney advised her not to, but good thing the cops weren't coming until Monday to throw all her grandkids' stuff out onto the streets. So I said, all right. And they had come to me on Sunday, banging on the door, saying, do you want till Wednesday or not? So I answered it. They said that they would give me until Wednesday. They said, are you going to have everything out? I said, probably not.
Okay, ma'am, hold on. This is a different issue. We're looking at why
No.
ma'am.
Yes, I understand that. They barred me from the house.
Stop, ma'am. There are issues before the court are why is he not getting his parenting time? Why has he not gotten the other gun? Mm-hmm. And why have you not paid for the vehicle?
Okay, I'm telling you, they barred me from the house, didn't let me get mine and my kids' stuff like the order said, and I had no access to the guns. I wasn't there on November 1st because they barred me from the property. I had no access to anything. Okay, my kids were sitting there helping me move their things that had gotten ruined and destroyed by their father and his parents being thrown outside and broken into my storage unit. I had no access to the guns or anything. They were inside the house. My daughter, he wrote both of them. He lives with his parents. They no longer want to go over there to his parents' house because him and his parents did this to them. My son had gone over there last because he thought that I was going to get in trouble in court for them not going. Okay, so I have no firearms to give him. I had no access to the house. He still has not given me and my children all of our belongings from the house. They threw them away. They got a dumpster. So I've had to use my money to pay for storage units and moving costs and everything else because of what they had done. Yes, I had not paid on the truck yet. No, I have not, because I had to use my money to do that.
Okay. Anything else?
My daughter does not wish to go over there. He needs his own house. They kicked me out of that house so he could have it as a home for them. They don't like their grandparents. They think they're very, very weird. They don't want to be in that house. In court, he said they were kicking me out so he could have that house to take care of his children. My kids have even asked him, did you get a house yet of your own? Did you move in there yet? People who threw away, destroyed their stuff, broke all of our things, threw their clothes in with food, garbage, old food from the fridge, ruined all their stuff. They don't want to be over there. I'm not going to physically pick them up and put my hands on them to make them go be with somebody who didn't care enough and threw all their stuff in the rain and garbage. I'm not doing that. Of course, I didn't meet him on November 1st at 210 East Chestnut Street. They barred me from the house. When I told the sheriff that your court order had said I get everything on the property that's mine and I can get it, he laughed at me and said, I don't listen to judges' orders. You're going to have to get an attorney. And I said, I already spoke to one. And then he went inside and told my kids' grandfather and father that the court order said that it proceeds over everything. I get my stuff, my kids' stuff. So they barred me from the premises and changed the locks on us. I had no, it was before November 1st. How was I going to meet him there with the kids? How was I going to meet him there at all? How was I going to give him anything from the house?
Okay. Anything else?
Well, let me see what this is saying.
Okay. Well, it does appear that in this matter, based upon the defendant's response, that she has not provided for the parenting time, so the court will hold her in contempt for failure to comply with the parenting time. The court will order that, again, that the plaintiff is entitled to 14 days of makeup parenting time with the daughter, 7 days with the son, that those would be made up at a time of his choice, but not over holidays that would be received by the defendant, but at other times, upon 10 days notice to the defendant. The court would order that she turn over the Colt pistol if she has that. If not, we'll have to address that at some later point if she's claiming that she doesn't have that in her possession. The court would award attorney fees in this matter. Mr. Todd, what are your fees for this matter?
$920, Your Honor.
Court would award a sum of $920, which will be paid within 60 days of today's date. And the court would order that she would pay bring the Ford Explorer current within 30 days of today's date.
Yep.
Failing to bring that current, then the court would order that it be sold.
Your Honor, how am I going to do that when he hasn't paid me anything? I have my paperwork to show.
We'll address that, ma'am. If he's not paid you something, you have a right to file a motion to enforce his payment. So we'll address that at the time that you file a motion.
Okay, well, what am I supposed to do about my daughter, Your Honor? Because she physically will not go with her dad while he's at his parents' house because they ruined all of her stuff.
Well, I can't address that. I'm just enforcing the order as it stands at this point, and failure.
So I can go in the courthouse right now and go file all of my stuff, right?
You can file your stuff at any time you wish to do so and file a motion.
Okay, so what? So I file a motion because he won't give me all the rest of my stuff. I have about $16,000 worth of purses and jewelry in that house.
You have to file a motion, ma'am. I have no idea what it is unless I have a motion to read.
Comment your opinion, like the video, and subscribe for more real courtroom moments.
Miss Bulljack appeared in court for multiple probation violations, including failing to attend required probation instructions and receiving a new charge while on supervision. During the hearing, the judge confirmed that her plea was voluntary and then questioned her about her request for treatment, where she admitted she did not actually believe she needed treatment and had only asked for it to avoid jail. The court expressed serious concern about her lack of honesty and her history, noting that at 25 years old she already had 3 drug-related convictions and had previously been given an opportunity to avoid a possession conviction, but failed to follow probation requirements and effectively stopped reporting. Although she told the court she had been reflecting on her life in jail and wanted to focus on self-improvement and future goals, the judge remained unconvinced that she would comply with supervision if released again. After considering the arguments from both the defense and prosecution, the judge revoked her probation and under advisement status and imposed a combined jail sentence totaling 138 days. Even after sentencing, Ms. Buljak again asked the court for treatment and housing assistance, but the judge denied the request, explaining that her earlier admission and repeated noncompliance showed that incarceration was the most appropriate consequence in this case.